Yo, what's going on, guys? And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how Jake Paul has just been ranked in the top 15 of the cruiserweight division. And the reason why is because he just beat Chavez Jr., or should I say, Chavez Bum Quitter Jr., because that motherfucker quit in that fight. Maybe not physically, but mentally he quit. I'll talk about the fight a little bit while we're here. First, like, 8 rounds, it was a complete wash. Jake completely dominated him, mostly with a jab. And I thought for at least a good, I would say, 4 rounds, Jake looked really good with the jab, especially. He was variating the jab, throwing the jab with different languages, not just throwing it the same way. It looked really nice. And then later on, he started to look sloppy, as he always does. And his gas tank dipped because, I'm going to be honest, he's fat. You don't belong at that weight. I think in my last video, I said that at max, he fights at, like, maybe if we're going to talk about his weight and stuff, minimum, I meant to say, he fights at like maybe 195, but he likes to fight at 200. But now that I've seen him fight, actually, he should cut weight. He looks fat. I mean, he's fast, he's powerful, but the weight is draining him. His cardio looked better, actually, when he was at a lower weight. When he fought Tommy Fury, when he fought Nate Diaz, when he was fighting at 190 pounds and he was a little bit slimmer, maybe he was a little bit weight drained, but it helped his gas tank. I thought it did anyway. And yeah, and another thing too is Jake these days, he don't really be getting a lot of knockouts. The last time he had a proper knockout was against Mike Perry, and Mike Perry's a fucking midget, so that doesn't mean a lot, obviously. So, Jake Paul, I'm not saying he doesn't have power, but I'm saying against Chavez Jr., who is fighting like 4 fucking weight classes above his natural weight class or something like that, I thought the power should have been more prevalent. I thought he should have been able to at least hurt Chavez and put him away. I get it, though. Chavez had a high guard, and he was fighting a very defensive fight and just being a little bitch and not engaging. But Jake did what he had to do, okay? Chavez Jr. turned it up in the last 2 rounds. Do we really fucking give a shit? No, the fight was just fucking boring. It was a shit fight. Jake only looked good for like 4 rounds and looked like shit for the rest of the fucking fight. And for the people that were saying, oh, the fight's scripted, it was in the contract, all this bullshit. No, the fight ain't scripted. Chavez is just fucking shit. That's literally, let's just say it for how it is. He's shit. He can't box. He's crap at boxing. And now ICE is going to deport him back to Mexico. Thank God. But no, the fight is not scripted. The reason why he wasn't throwing is because he's shit. Okay? He didn't throw when he was fighting Anderson Silva. He looked the same against Anderson Silva as he did with Jake Paul. Actually, he probably looked a little bit worse. Maybe, he saved face a little bit, turning it up in those last 2 rounds. And when he didn't turn it up, bro, he wasn't missing. He was landing on Jake. I thought if he turned it up earlier, he could have maybe put Jake Paul away. And I thought I would never say that. But looking at those last 2 rounds, if he was doing that earlier in the fight, and he was breaking Jake down with body shots because Jake's fat, bro, he could have put Jake away if he was doing that earlier. If he started turning it up like that around the 4th round, he could have put Jake away. He's just a little bitch, and he doesn't know how to box. He forgot how to box. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't know how to box. Like, obviously he can box. I'm just being, a little bit harsh on him. But for good reason, though. He fought like shit. He fought a shit fight. So, yeah, good he's getting deported. Thank the Lord. W fucking deportation. You know what I mean? But anyways, moving past that, yeah. So, since he's beaten Chavez Jr., now he's being ranked, Jake Paul, that is being ranked top, he's 14 or something like that. Number 14 in, the contendership of the cruiserweight division, which means that he can fight for a world title. I think once you're in the top 15 in the cruiserweight division, if you're ranked top 15 contender, you're good enough to fight for a world title. And, there's only 2 guys that have a title that he can fight. Ramirez, which will beat his fucking ass. He'll get whooped bad by that boy. Or he could fight Badu Jack, which he has a little bit more of a chance beating Badu Jack because Badou Jack's a fucking grandpa. He's like 42, and he's not really looked that good recently in his recent fights. He looks slow as shit. You know what I mean? So he's a little bit more beatable. I still think Badou Jack fucking batters Jake Paul, even at 41. I still think he beats the brakes off of him. But I'm just saying that's more winnable of a fight for Jake than him fighting Marías, who's fucking 6'4", and he would just be a fucking problem for Jake Paul. A massive issue. So yeah, Jake Paul in the future, I don't think he will, but in the future, because he is ranked number 14 in the cruiserweight division, he can, theoretically speaking, fight Marías, or he could fight Badou Jack. And like I already said before, if he's going to fight either of them for a title, fight the fucking grandpa, since that's what you love to do so much. But it's fucking ridiculous that I think Jake Paul is in the top 15 in the cruiserweight division, but fucking Vidal Riley isn't, and he holds an English title. How the fuck is Jake Paul above Vidal Riley when Vidal Riley actually fought a ranked cruiserweight that held a title? He fought a fucking cruiserweight that actually held a title, not a fucking washed up former champ that's moving up 3 weight classes. No, an actual English title holder Vidal Riley beat. And somehow he's not ranked in the top 15, but Jake Paul is. Fuck these rankings, man. These rankings are so fucking subjective. They will just slap anybody in the rankings as long as it's convenient. I'm pretty sure they just fucking put Manny Pacquiao in the top 5 because he came out of retirement now and he's going to be fighting Mario Barrios. So they just slapped him in the top 5 even though he hasn't like fought in 4 years. It's fucking ridiculous, man. These rankings are ridiculous. Same thing with Devin Haney. I think they just slapped Devin Haney in the top 5 when he moved up to 147. And Devin Haney didn't even fight anybody at 147 before that. And they just slapped them in there. And now they're doing it with Jake Paul. And they're just making it so obvious that they will just put you in the rankings as long as they think it's convenient. As long as it caters to their biased view of the fighter. As long as the fighter reels in the money and they got a big name. They'll just put you in the fucking top 5, top 10, top 15. It don't matter. I mean, Jake Paul, literally, Jake Paul would lose to a top 50 cruiserweight. That's how shit Jake Paul is at boxing. I mean, at an average level, Jake Paul is good at boxing. But if we're talking about him in contendership fights or in title fights, even local title fights, like English titles or like intercontinental, international titles, Jake Paul would lose to those fucking motherfuckers. He wouldn't be able to compete. He doesn't have the amateur experience. He doesn't have the skill set. His defense is shit. Chavez Jr. showed Jake Paul's defense is still shit. And that's it. The only thing Jake Paul improved on is his jab. That's it. The only thing Jake Paul improved upon is his jab, and that's all he's improved upon. His defense is still shit. If he fights a cruiserweight with defense like that, an actual legit cruiserweight, they'll put him away. They'll knock him out. With defense like that, they'll put him away. If he fights Marías, I know Marías is not a big puncher, but he would still put Jake Paul away. Or at the very least, will just fucking box his head off for 12 rounds. Badou Jack definitely puts him away. Badou Jack, I don't care if he's at a decline. He's still a legitimate world champion boxer with a lot of experience. I know Jake probably has a better shot of winning, but he's still going to lose anyway. And he doesn't deserve to fight Badou Jack. He doesn't deserve to fight Marías. He's not good enough to compete with those guys or even the guys that lost to those guys. He would lose. He would get beat. Some of the journeymen they fought on their way up would maybe beat Jake Paul. He's that shit. So I just had to go on a rant about these fucking stupid biased rankings, man. These rankings are a goddamn joke, and I'm sure everyone watching this video can agree with me. So yeah, I just wanted to say that, guys. And yeah, that's all I gotta say on this fucking ridiculous matter. W-Ice, we got fucking Chavez Jr. out of the country. Thank God. Fucking get deported because you lost to Jake Paul. But anyways, guys, thank you for listening to this video and watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.